We find ourselves in Tasmania's southern forests, and this is the Terhune Airwalk, one of the most iconic tourism attractions in the state. But this story is not about tourism, it's about science, and just a stone's throw from here is one of the most important patches of forest in the country from a scientific point of view.
Since 1995, this small pocket of Tasmanian bush has been set aside for science. This living, breathing laboratory provides all sorts of information on the ecology of the forest and what effect forestry and climate change has.
Warra was established as a site to study the ecology of the wet eucalypt forest, and it's a wide range of studies can be done here, some of them long-term, some of them short-term.
One of the latest additions is this flux tower. At 80 metres, it's the second tallest in the world and the tallest in the southern hemisphere. Its purpose is to measure carbon.
We're talking about it a lot with climate change, with how forestry is going to influence the capacity of the forest to store carbon. So understanding the process by which forests gain and lose carbon is fundamental to that.
And Tim, so this is the brains in here. So every, 10 times a second there is data being sent from the top of the tower to your office here.
That's right, and it's all stored in there, and every week we come down and we just can't wait to see what it's been measuring, and every week we come down and download the data, and we can see just what the forest's been doing every day, right through the day. So you can see a daytime it's absorbing carbon, nighttime it's losing carbon, and we can just see exactly what the measurements are telling us, and we're just building up a long-term story. We can see just how the forest responds to day-to-day changes in the weather. We can see how it responds to extreme events like the summer we just had, where we had record temperatures, just what the forests do in those sort of conditions.
The Warra Flux Tower is part of a series of similar towers set up around Australia. All are in different forest types. This one, in the Wombat State Forest in Victoria, is in a dry eucalypt forest. No matter the forest type, all the towers are providing the data which will tell Australia's carbon story. Another way of telling the health of the forest is to look at the animals which live in it. Birds are an indicator species, and Dr. Andrew Hingston has been carrying out bird surveys in the Warra for almost 15 years.
Birds are quite a diverse group of creatures. There are ones which inhabit the understory, and some which inhabit the mid-layer, and others which inhabit the canopy. They forage on a wide variety of things too. Some feed on insects, others take nectar or fruit, or larger animal prey. So they're giving us a pretty good overview of what's going on in the ecosystem.
Andrew's surveys taking place in all parts of the forest, from freshly harvested sites to areas which have been untouched. Just like the Flux Tower, the bird survey is about providing a long-term record of what's happening.
Of course, new technology always makes monitoring easier. These highly sensitive microphones now record bird calls. All of their songs will create a database giving scientists a more accurate picture of which birds are where.
We have plenty of hours records, and so you don't have to listen by yourself. The machine is going through this and can say how many birds you will find there.
Sarah Schmidt is just one of the many international students as well as international scientists who come and take advantage of the Warra each year, all able to use the ongoing studies in their work, even if it's on the other side of the world.
It's important to know what's around you, and if it's changing. When you don't know what is out there, you don't know if when you interrupt, if something is changing or not. So you have to know what's there before to know what is changing.
The Warra is almost 16,000 hectares of forest in southern Tasmania, which has been put aside in the name of science. Currently there are 7 ongoing long-term studies which record changes in the forest. Some, like the Flux Tower, collect data every second for what's hoped to be a study lasting years. Other studies are looking at birds, bugs and beetles, water quality and forest management options. To find out more, visit warra.com.